Today is November 6, 2024. My name is Rob Carter of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is my post-election analysis for Pro-Life Week. Well, I went to bed last night at 3:30 a.m. and got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So if I fall asleep in the middle of this broadcast, you'll know why, because I didn't get any sleep last night. But what an exciting, historic evening. Kamala Harris was defeated soundly, and it looks like Donald Trump will probably pick up at least 6 of the 7 swing states. The one state he actually might not win is Michigan. That's too close to call right now, so we'll have to wait and see, because the votes are still trickling in. But I do believe that Trump's going to get Nevada and Arizona. He already took Georgia and North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. So these are exciting times. The Senate flipped the Republicans. At least 3 seats have changed. There's a good chance that we might pick up another seat in Pennsylvania, where Senator Bob Casey will be defeated. We'll see about that. But these are exciting times. First time since Grover Cleveland, who won the presidency in 1884, I believe. He lost it in 1888, and then he was reelected in 1892. He was the first president to win 2 non-consecutive presidential elections. Well, here we are, 2024, and Donald Trump has done the exact same thing, winning in 2016, losing in 2020, and now here again, winning in 2024. So another historic event. This has been a crazy year with a presidential candidate dropping out of the race, being replaced by a candidate who didn't get one single vote in the primaries. Donald Trump there was 2 assassination attempts. I mean, these things don't happen, but they happened this year. So here's my analysis, I guess. Why did Kamala Harris lose? Well, I mean, there's a host of reasons. I mean, she was a bad candidate. She just was a bad candidate. And she really wasn't prepared. She had like 100 days to run her campaign. But, she didn't answer questions. There was word salad in every answer. She never really explained what she was going to do. She talked in hyperbole and just euphemisms. She just never touched home plate, so to speak. It was word salad. It was everything. Every answer was, I'm from the middle class, and I'm for your goals and aspirations and dreams. I mean, that was, and abortion. And then she, obviously, abortion was a big part of her race. And that didn't work well for her either. Praise the Lord, Amendment 4 in Florida did not pass. It did get 57% of the vote, clear majority, but you needed 60% to become a constitutional change. They didn't get it, so it failed. So that was great news. It really was great news, because initially we had heard that 69% of the voters were going to vote for this pro-abortion amendment. Well, obviously it didn't happen. So that's great. So getting back to Kamala Harris, bad candidate, no message. She focused her entire campaign on abortion and Donald Trump as a fascist. I mean, that's basically it. And but even though she was a terrible candidate, and which is obvious to all, I think if you're going to place some blame, I really put the blame back on Joe Biden. Because here's my scenario. Had Biden announced in 2022 or 2021, because of his age, I am going to be a one-term president. in 2023 or 2024, we're going to have an open primary season. We're going to have viable candidates vying for the nomination. I'm speaking for Biden. I will be throwing my support behind my vice president, Kamala Harris, but we're going to have an open system. If he had said that 2 years ago, then I think the party voters, the primary voters nationwide, would have picked somebody other than Kamala Harris. And they could have put in a credible candidate, credible from their point of view, obviously pro-abortion, radical, but they would have put a credible candidate who could have challenged Trump more credibly. And who knows how that could have turned out, but Joe Biden, dug in his heels. He was in his own vanity project. He wanted to run for re-election, and he sabotaged his own re-election. He sabotaged Harris's candidacy, and he sabotaged his own party by refusing to allow the democratic process to pick a replacement or a successor for him. He didn't do any of those things, and there's where I place most of the blame on Joe Biden's lap. But so why did Donald Trump win? I think Trump won because he had a better message, and the message was, or his final message was, she broke it, I'm going to fix it. Food prices, gas prices, the Afghan withdrawal, illegal immigration running rampant, crime. What else am I? Transgender stuff. Pro-abortion, extremism. All these things weighed in on why Trump was a more effective campaigner and had a more cohesive message to the American public. She had nothing. And then she somehow claims to be a change candidate. She's the incumbent. Donald Trump was the change agent. And the voters agreed with that. And then you have the issue of he got more votes from Latinos, more votes from blacks, primarily black men. She didn't get that huge, overwhelming support by women. She didn't get it. And I just saw this morning in New York City in 2020, Joe Biden won New York by 23%, which is to be expected. It's a liberal state. Kamala Harris this morning, won by 11%. In New York State, she wins by 11%. That's terrible from a liberal, progressive point of view. So she underperformed, and then Donald Trump overperformed. In Ohio, he won by 8% in 2016, 8% in 2020, and then last night, Trump wins by 12%. So he overperformed. He overperforms in Michigan. He overperformed in Pennsylvania. In all these swing states, he just overperformed. And then, there's always this talk about the shy Trump voter, who doesn't want to tell opinion polls how they really want to vote because they're afraid of some kind of a backlash. So Trump was supposed to lose by 6% to Hillary Clinton. He beats her. Trump was supposed to lose by, 8% to Biden. He loses by only 3%. Now here, people were saying the race was razor thin. And Trump's going to win nationwide by maybe 2.5% to 3% of the popular vote. And in the Electoral College, he was way ahead. So in every different demographic and category, Trump was a better candidate. He just was a better candidate. And he has a certain persona. I'm not sure what the word I want to say, because I don't have any notes in front of me to kind of fall back on. But, he's kind of funny. He rambles and he's not always coherent. He kind of sways through his answers. He just kind of goes off on tangents, but he is entertaining. Kamala Harris was not entertaining. Joe Biden was not entertaining. And I think the American public, for all of Donald Trump's flaws and imperfections, he can be a very entertaining guy. He really can be. And when he goes to McDonald's and makes some and cooks up some fries, or hands them out at the window, or he drives a garbage truck, and he's wearing his vest, his orange or green vest as a utility worker or garbage truck worker. He's kind of funny. I mean, he just is kind of funny. And I think the American public supports his candor, his transparency. That he's not a Nazi, like I said last time. He's not a fascist. He's not going to lock people up. And now, because he has this mandate, he is going to be able to really advance his agenda with more clarity, because he has the popular vote and the electoral college. Now in Michigan, we have stopped Kamala Harris's, we have stopped Gretchen Whitmer's abortion agenda, because the Republicans have reclaimed, the pro-lifers have reclaimed the Michigan State House by at least 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 seats. So she will not be able to advance legislatively her agenda. And that is an amazing victory for the pro-life voters in Michigan. And credit to Right to Life for Michigan and all the people who made phone calls to get out the vote phone calls, to get people energized, whether it was early voting or same-day voting. We flipped some of these seats. And now she's not going to be able to get these things through as easily as she expected. Now, there's a big concern about the state Supreme Court, because we did not win those 2 seats, and there's a clear pro-abortion majority. And we still have to be vigilant and to see what kind of mischief they're going to do, because it's conceivable that the state Supreme Court could rule that Proposal 3 demands that parental consent is not constitutional. Or they could say that Proposal 3 guarantees that the taxpayers will fund taxpayer abortions. The Supreme Court in Michigan may do that, and they have free reign because they have the majority now on the court. We'll see how that plays out. But legislatively, Gretchen Whitmer has been blocked. She has been blocked in the State House. And, to pass a bill, you got to have both House and Senate before she can sign that bill. And the pro-lifers have stopped her dead in her tracks. So praise the Lord for that. This was a good night last night. We didn't get everything we wanted, but we got the U.S. Senate. We might hopefully still retain the U.S. House of Representatives. So Trump could possibly have all of Congress and the White House. We flipped the Michigan State House and stopped Gretchen Whitmer. So all in all, and I forgot, and Proposal 4 in Florida, a great victory. We have stopped the pro-abortion movement nationwide, as well as some of that crazy trans stuff. And this is exciting. I'm wearing my Right to Life from Michigan, Life the Other Choice hat, because now we have an opportunity in Michigan to remind voters, because we've put a stop to Whitmer's agenda. We can now remind voters, yes, women with crisis pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, they do have choices. And the choice they have is the choice for life. Life, the other choice. With that, I'll let you go, and I will see you next time.